Today is Friday, October the 9th, and I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my morning political thought. It is morning in America and morning here in Los Angeles. All right, thepurpleelephantshow.com is the main podcasting platform. You can listen to all of the podcasting episodes there. You can follow on Twitter at RealTPS or TPES. You can also follow on Parler, The Purple Elephant Show. You can follow on Instagram, The Purple Elephant Show, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show. If you are watching this on BitChute, YouTube, or Dailymotion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and that will let you know when I upload new video episodes. All right, so let's get some of the side news out the way before I go into my morning political thought. And I have to look down at my notes here. All right, for side news, President Trump is having issues with the debate with the debate commission. The debate commission is saying they want President Trump to do a virtual debate because of his recent diagnosis. President Trump is saying no. So him and the debate commission are going back and forth on that. President Trump is saying he should be totally fine by October the 15th, which is when the next debate would be, and that there are precautions that can be taken to allow him to debate. He, to my understanding, is taking another test this weekend. Also, President Trump is like a lion in a cage right now. He's ready to get back out. He seems to be feeling well. According to the interview last night when he was talking to Hannity, he's saying he feels great. And he's even considering doing a rally either this Saturday or next Saturday is what he's talking about. He's talking about a rally in Florida and possibly a rally in Pennsylvania, but I'm pretty sure he was talking about this Saturday. So I'm curious about that. I'll have to check and see how that plays out today. But definitely, he's already talking about doing rallies again. So definitely he's ready to debate. And if everyone is so concerned, don't have any people in the audience. Don't have anybody in the audience for the debate. Just have Joe Biden, have President Trump, have the moderator, and have them socially distance and everything else, and that'll be that. But I don't see why they can't have the debate in person. And President Trump is saying that. So President Trump's like, if you're talking about a virtual debate, forget it. I don't even want to do it. And he said on Hannity last night that he was talking to Joe Biden, like, hey, let's just work this out. Let's bypass the debate commission. Let's set up something, work out something. Maybe they'll go on Joe Rogan and get this debate happening. But we all know it more than likely won't happen outside of the debate commission because obviously Joe Biden does not want to debate President Trump. All right. Next piece of side news. NBA ratings continue to fall. Of course, get woke, go broke. For the NBA ratings, the finals game, they are close to clinching the title of the least watched finals on record. So no one's really watching because they're tired of the social justice, the messages, and everything else. I mentioned this before during one of my episodes. People don't want politics in their sports. Sports for people is a form of escapism. Escapism is to escape from the things that go on in the world, not have the things that go on in the world thrown in front of your face. So when you're bringing that to the area people are trying to escape to, they'll just find somewhere else to escape to, whether it is watching golf or something else. People will find the time to do whatever else except watch basketball or football or whatever they're trying to stick their messages into. like I said, it's a form of escapism. They don't want to think about that stuff. They just want to enjoy the game. So yeah. All right. Third thing, migrants are hoping for a Biden win. I don't know why this is news, but apparently it is. Even one migrant from Honduras said in the article, it said while she was cradling her baby, she said while cradling her baby that she wants Trump out and that she'll wait because it will make things easier if Biden wins. Duh. Obviously. On to the next side piece of news. Senate Democrats want the Inspector General of the Treasury to launch a probe into President Trump's tax returns that remain under audit. You know, if it's not Russia, if it's not mental capacity, because you know about Nancy Pelosi talking about the 25th Amendment, which this is the 25th Amendment thing isn't even a side news story, but I'm just going to throw this in here anyway. With the 25th Amendment, there isn't anything that can be done. Mike Pence is not going to sign off with a bunch of other people within President Trump's administration to say the president is mentally incapacitated right now. And it's not going to happen. So whatever Nancy Pelosi is doing, I feel like she's pulling a Trump, is what I feel like she's doing. She's doing something because we all know what President Trump does sometimes. He'll throw something out to get people to look at it while he's doing something else. And I feel like Nancy Pelosi might be doing that. But with the whole Nancy Pelosi thing in the 25th Amendment, that's just garbage, and we all know that. But for the Senate, yeah, they want the Inspector General of the Treasury to investigate and look into the remaining tax returns of President Trump's that are still under audit. Obviously, nothing will come of this. The Senate Democrats do not hold the majority right now, so there really isn't too much that can be done. Also, from a political standpoint, it wouldn't be good anyway with the Inspector General of the Treasury doing that, especially during the election season and during a Trump administration. So it's just them howling at the moon. Another thing, AOC was upset during the vice presidential debate because Mike Pence called her AOC, and she had tweeted out, "For the record, is Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez to you," is what she had tweeted out when Mike Pence called her AOC. So she prefers to be referred to as Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez when Mike Pence brings her up. And also in news, the federal government seized 92 websites. The federal government says that the websites were running a disinformation campaign, including several dozen that posed as news outlets but were operated by the Iranian regime. So the federal government seized 92 websites. And they're saying all of it, even though several dozen were news outlets, some were not news outlets, but all 92, they're saying that it was linked to Iran. I have no idea if that's true or not. I'm just going by what was reported in the news because I love the United States, one of the greatest countries in the world. I'm not going to say our government's always the most honest, but they say those 92 websites were running a disinformation campaign and they seized them because of that, and it was connected to Iran. All right. Now, we got that out the way. Those are the side news stories. Let's go ahead and get to my morning political thought. My morning political thought is I was right again when I did an episode on the Purple Elephant Show. I have to take a sip of my lemon water. Lemon water is so good. All right. And on that episode, I said, wait for it, wait for it. That's the title of the episode. Wait for it, wait for it. And I talk about how the lockdowns were going to push people to the edge. One of the worst things to deal with is someone who has nothing to lose. And when you have a large amount of people who have nothing to lose, things will happen. Now, they're trying to paint these militiamen as right wing, but that's not the case, because these militiamen, they're anarchists. They don't like police either. But they were planning on kidnapping the governor of Michigan. And then after the kidnapping, they plan to do away with her. Interpret that appropriately. So my thing is, I don't believe this would have happened if not for the lockdowns. Just like I don't believe all the riots and all the looting would have happened if not for the lockdowns. I said it before on my episode, and check it out if you have not listened to it or watched it. It's called Wait for It, Wait for It. And basically, it's me saying, wait for it, meaning something's about to happen. And that is just an example. The FBI just so happened to catch these people. There is no telling who else may have plans in the works that are also on the FBI's radar, and those who are not on the FBI's radar. Because when it comes to terrorists, because that's what anarchists are. Anarchists are terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. That's what they are. When it comes to terrorists, there are tons of terrorists. Let me rephrase. I'm going to articulate this differently. There is a ton of terrorist activity daily on the FBI's radar. The FBI is monitoring things daily within the United States of potential terrorist activity. However, whatever the FBI is monitoring, they're not catching 100%. It is impossible to capture 100% of potential terrorist activity within the United States of America. It's not possible, regardless of how much you surveil or how sophisticated the technology is, how many informants we have. It just is impossible. So this is an example of people who were caught and who were on the FBI's radar. But with all of these lockdowns that have happened in all of these states, there is no telling if something similar may happen here in California, that somebody in California may be plotting, because our governor's a little cuckoo. So, and this is all because when people have nothing to lose and they need someone to blame, bad things happen. That's why I haven't been for the lockdowns. I've been for let the chips fall where they may when it comes to, because that's what Sweden did. Sweden was like, you know what? We're just going to thug it out. And that's what Sweden did. They thugged it out. And their world didn't come to an end. It didn't collapse into a dystopian, chaotic something. Sweden is fine. And I wish the United States would have taken the same approach, or somewhat of a same approach, maybe a hybrid. But when you have all this pent up frustration, this pent up anger, this pent up loss, this pent up hopelessness, you can, it makes it messes with you mentally, and it makes you more susceptible to the darker side of things, is what it does. And as I mentioned before in my previous episodes, there's 300 million people in this country, in the United States of America, give or take. And we have about maybe 2 million, a million or so military, about 800,000 law enforcement, and I'm doing this from memory, but you can pull the episode because I pulled the numbers back a long time ago. And don't forget, we have enough guns for every man, woman, and child in this country. That's why I always say, out of countries in the world, the United States of America, regardless of all of this chaos that you've seen happening in 2020 and the things that you see happen in South Side of Chicago and even here in Los Angeles and New York, and even though crime is up in a lot of cities, regardless of all of that stuff that you have seen, the United States of America as a whole is still the most civilized country in the world. Because so many people have been pushed to the brink. So many people have had the weight of just the world thrown on their shoulders. And they haven't picked up their guns and went to Washington and said, you know what, we're going to clean out Republicans, we're going to clean out Democrats, we're going to clean out everybody and just be done with it. Because, mind you, Congress has been paid throughout all of this. Congress has not missed a paycheck at all. They haven't. So keep that in mind too. And in the midst of all of this, while Congress has not missed the paycheck, and in midst of a new stimulus package not being passed, which there will be a new stimulus. There's going to be a second stimulus. So don't worry about that. That's going to happen. But in the midst of all of this stuff happening throughout the United States, all of this craziness, the American people have not come together and said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and grab all of our guns and march on Washington and kick these people out. And even if we didn't have over 100 million guns, they still have not come together and say, oh, well, we're just going to march on Washington or march on this or march on that. You have riots, protests, things of that nature, but I'm talking about on more of a government level of true anarchy. That has not happened. And the reason it hasn't happened is because America is one of the most civilized countries in the world. However, there are still pockets like what happened in Michigan with what people were planning to do to kidnap the governor and dispose of her of Michigan that exist because of the policies that have been put in place to push these people to the edge where they have nothing to lose. And don't be surprised if this happens again in certain states, if lockdowns are not lifted, or if the whole country is put on lockdown again. Don't be surprised. So, I was right. And that's all I have for my morning political thought. Thank you to everyone who's been listening to my morning political thought and listening to the Purple Elephant Show on the weekend. Because my morning political thought, as I always say, is a supplement to the Purple Elephant Show, which is a weekend show. And thank you to those who have been watching as well. It means a lot to me. It means more than you'll ever know. The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram, on Parler, at RealTPES on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show. If you're watching this on BitChute, Dailymotion, or YouTube, Don't forget to hit the subscribe button followed by the notification bell, and that will let you know when I upload new videos. Until next time, be blessed.